In the Ferrari, starting at the back, still in the championship fight, needs to do quite a bit if he wants to stay in it. Everyone in their grid spot now. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here at Jeddah. The first time, and we are underway for Division 1, and it looks like Sem got a pretty decent start then in the Williams. And it looked like Connor's going to have a look down the inside. He is. He's going to have the outside line for turn 2, and Connor takes the lead, and there's a crash at turn 2. And that's Sem dropping down the order, one of the red doors as well. Liam dropping down the order, so Sem from first all the way down to 9th now, battling with Liam. Connor makes his way into the lead, Owen up into P2, Tooman up into P3, Sim up to 4th. Bennett has already made 5 positions, very, very crucial for his championship fight.
Yeah, 3 into 1, it just didn't work. I don't think they knew who else was around them, but yeah, 3 into 1, it just definitely didn't
Mason
work.
Gammon and Ellis going around the outside of the hairpin. Can the Ferrari driver make it work? We'll see. He's got the Aston Martin right in front of him. They're still banging wheels. Oh, Mason Gammon and Ellis. And he holds on to P6.
Oh, Bennett's round.
Bennett! That's it. Oh, no. So Bennett gets a hit on the wheel. Has he got damage? He has. He's lost part of his front wing. And that makes the champion even more crazy now, because Smoke is now back into P10. Liam has made his way back into 5th. This is chaos so far on lap 1.
I mean, we didn't expect it this early, did we? But oh my word, this is certainly going to spice up the race now. But SLR Connor, he'd be in absolute dreamland. It was him and Sem who were clear or ahead of everyone, especially in qualifying. All he needs to do now is just get that 1 second gap to Owen before the DRS is activated, and this could be a cruise for Connor. But having said that, it's Division 1, and we saw what happened on lap.
It definitely isn't actually. Sem closing up to Ellis now for P6. Can he close up enough though to go for a move going down to turn 1? I don't think he can. He's going to wait behind, but I can see a move for P11 between Alan and Moley. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1. He's going to the inside line of turn 2. And that is, it's like Alan up into P11, I believe. Yes, as Moley just tucks in behind. Or is he going to go for a move down the inside? No, he does back out of that, rightly so. What a start. What a first lap that was. We've had the pole sitter drop down to P7. Connor taking the lead. Let's have a look at positions gained on that first lap. Biggest winner is going to be SLR Allen, starting 18th, has made his way up into 11th, but crucially for the championship though, I think that was Ben that got contact on the first lap, as Bennett is making his way back through the field now with a fresh front wing. Yeah, Bennett down to 16th. That is not what he was looking for his championship fight, as Moley and Clock are now going side by side. Moley down the inside of the Haas, but he goes a little bit off track as well, so that means Clock can be able to get the place back, and Moley's lost the position to Elite Risk and VR. So one little error here at Jeddah means you can lose many positions.
Yeah, crucially we're already seeing gaps happen. Connor now got 1.3 second lead. He's very quick going through sector 1, so that's clearly his strength on this track. And we're just seeing, it looks like there's a move. Ellis going around the outside of Liam. Liam holding a bit of a queue. It looks like there's already a 3 second gap between 4th and 5th, and Ellis has got the job done, and Sem and Sump hoping to make a quick recovery already. He's going to be the next man to try and take Liam.
Definitely is. We're going to stay on board with Sam, see if he closes. Actually, we're going to go down to Elite Risk and Clock, because it looks like they're going to go side by side going up. So when Mason Gammon comes in the pit lane, I think he might have damage, because Mason Gammon, I know he's retired in the pit lane, so he's had enough already. He doesn't want to be here, so he is gone. Elite Risk up into P11 now, getting past Sotia Clock. So yeah, biggest winners from the start, as I said, Alan making up 8. Elite Risk also making up 8 positions, up into P11 now. Smoke, crucially, up into P9. But yeah, Connor still in the lead of this race. Like I said, in Dreamland, has already pulled 1.5 seconds. And he's used quite a lot of his battery as well. 38% he was on there. Let's have a look at Owens. He's also about the same. And it looks like Sem is closing up on Liam here for P6. He got very close going into the hairpin, but it didn't go for a move. He is going to be patient on the Red Bull driver.
Yeah, it was, you might mention it a bit earlier on, but Elite Risk's in 11th place. He's only 1 place away from the points position. Again, it's only lap 3, but a very encouraging start by Elite, especially when he smoked in 9th. It would mean at the moment, I think Elite would be out of championship contention, but he's only about 2 seconds away from Smoke, and a lot could happen. Like Connor, again, it's the start you just dreamed of. Suddenly, you find yourself in an amazing position going into Abu Dhabi if things stay out this way, and Tooman's been overtaken.
He has. I've just run a ball with that one. Sim Barracks 1, making it currently a double McLaren. Very happy about. And Sem has just made his way past Liam as well, down the inside at the final corner for SLR Sem, making his way back into P6. Go for a move on Ellis to P5. 2 overtakes in 2 corners. Yes, please, says SLR 7. And he's now up into P5. Liam is now going to get past him as well, up into P6. So Liam trying to follow Sem through as much as he can.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see now with clean air ahead of Sem how much time he can make up to the drivers in front. His first driver he's going to face is Tooman, who is not going to be the easiest driver to overtake, especially if he's still got the speed from 2 seasons ago. He's still within 3/10 of Sim, so he isn't going to fall away too quickly as we see our first time penalty.
It is Sotia Clark getting up 3-second time penalty track limits. As I say, that Liam also gets one. It is very easy to get track limit penalties around here because of how close the exit of the track is. So I won't be surprised if that isn't the first penalties we see of the race. Yeah, Tooman, the gap it seems to be opened up a little bit now between him and Sim Barracks 1 in the McLaren to around 7/10 of a second. Let's see if we've got any other moves down in the field. Smoke looks to be closing up a bit on Vapid Coot. He's now lost DRS to Ellis, who's pulling away on his softs. Bennett still down in 15th, unfortunately for him. Closing for Modi a little bit, but not close enough to go for a move just yet. I think we might stay on board with Ellis, who's sticking on the back of Liam, and Sem has already pulled a second gap now to Liam. So this is going to put Liam under a lot of pressure now to defend from the Mercedes driver behind.
Yeah, it's a combination of Sem's got great speed, he's catching up on Tooman, but I've just seen Tooman go really completely cut a corner. I think the tyre performance is already falling off the cliff. He's within a second of Sim Barracks, so maybe Dirty Air might play a part, but again, based on a race simulation I've done a few days ago, the tyre performance does fall off the cliff within about 4 or 5 laps, as we've seen another overtake Ellis back on Liam.
We have, and the 2 McLarens are having a good old switcheroo as well between turn 2, Owen and Sim. Having a nice little battle. This is not really what the McLaren drivers want. They want to try and catch up with Connor, but it's now 2.5 seconds between Connor and Owen. But obviously Sim a reserve at McLaren, so really has nothing to lose on his current teammate Owen Howe. But it looks like Owen has now opened the gap a little bit more. But Tooman has just got a little invite to a podium position, it looks like. Only 4/10 behind Sim now, making this a 3-way battle for P2. See if we've got any other battles going on behind. We see Liam now closing back up to Ellis. We just saw them switch around going down to turn 1. Might have a little switch around again later in the lap. Another 2 drivers keep switching around as well. Alan and Elite Risk, both battling for P10. They've got championship leader Smoke just in front of him as well. He's also closing up to Vapid Coot. So that might be a battle we might see in a few laps' time. Looks like Sim, once again, closing up to Owen Howe, his teammate, in the McLaren. For P2, as it stands, he's going to be right behind him going into this next DRS. And Owen's gone a little bit deep, and it looks like Sim has got a really good line, and we're going to see the 2 McLarens battle. He gets very close to the wall with Sim, and he gets past Owen. Fantastic move there from Sim Barracks 1, making his way up into P2. We're going to keep an eye on Tooman, though, because he can really close up to this battle.
Yeah, that was brave by Sim Barracks. However, I mean, that mistake by Owen, I mean, it's not the worst mistake on the planet, because now Owen's going to get DRS, and he might be able to get back going into turn 1 for P2. I think Tooman's going to be too far away to do anything, but you know, after what we saw from lap 1, something had happened between the 2 here, and Owen is just staying behind, it seems.
Indeed he does. Staying in P3 does Owen Howe. I think Smoke has just made his way past Vapid Coot. And we see a good old switcheroo again for Liam and Ellis battling for P6 once again. Liam looks to just about hold on to P6 ahead of the Mercedes driver. But yes, Smoke also making his way up into P8 ahead of Vapid Coot now.
Oh,
Tooman picks up a penalty. That might be crucial in this race for a podium.
Yeah, and I've just on board with LP Smoke there, and on the mediums, of course, carrying a bit too much speed, went a bit wide. I think he slowed down a bit enough to not count as a warning. But there's a driver in between Smoke and Elite Risks, but if Risks is able to get right back behind it again, depending on what Risks does, if he overtakes or not, that's going to be the difference between whether Elite Risks is going to be able to have a shot going into the last round at this stage of the Grand Prix. How's SLR Bennett getting?
He's currently still down in 15th. He just can't really catch up to SF1 Moley. He keeps catching the gap, but then loses it again when he's going for a move, and he is going to get very, very close now. Is SLR Bennett using quite a bit of his battery to try and catch up? He is now going to be right behind SF1 Moley here. He's also going to get DRS from VR46 just ahead. We're going to stay on board with the Aston Martin driver to see if he can make the move. I don't think he's going to be close enough. He is going to get a tow and DRS, but it's not going to be enough to make a move. It looks like one man who's going to make a move again is Ellis on SLR Liam back up into P6. I've got a feeling this battle is going to go on for quite a while, and Owen just made his way back into P2. Toomey making his way up into P3, and Sim now down to P4 after all of that.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a mistake or not by Sim Barracks, but he's lost an awful lot of time.
Oh, and we've got a 4-car battle for P8. Sorry to interrupt. Elite Risk, Alan, and Smoke and Vapiku. Smoke's now back down to P10, but Elite Risk, after all of this, he's made it to the front of the queue after being near enough at the back.
And I think Sim Barracks might have a problem, you know, because he's... Oh, in fact, he's X. Oh, he's... I think he's having a few screen freezers. He's...
That is really not going to help him. So that maybe you can see why he has dropped quite a lot of time to 2 minutes. Owen has just picked up his first penalty of the race. But yes, Sem, you can see now right on the back of the McLaren driver. So maybe a few connection issues for Sim. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. Hopefully it doesn't cause any more disruptions in this race. But yeah, that might not help the McLaren driver out as much. Well, won't help her out at all in this race.
It seems fine now, but of course it's not going to get those second backs if you did suffer a few screen freezes. Of course they are absolutely painful, and it's certainly a very cruel way to lose some places. So there's a yellow flag, and that's AMS
Ben. He's lost it at the hairpin. Let's see if he's got damage. I think Smoke has just made his way past Liam. We'll go back on board with that. Ben doesn't have damage, but yeah, Smoke now making his way back up into P9 after getting overtaken. And has got one of his championship rivals, Elite Risk, just ahead of him. His other championship rival, SLR Bennett, down in 15th as it stands. So it will still be going to the finale. Obviously, if Smoke doesn't finish inside the top 3, no matter what, it will be going to the final round in Abu Dhabi next week. Looks like Sem has now really closed back up to Sim. And one thing I've noticed as well is Owen has already pulled nearly a 2-second gap to Tooman. So maybe Tooman has got a bit of a problem as well. Or Owen has just got the afterburners on a little bit in that McLaren because he has really pulled away.
Yeah, so it can even be the difference of just getting yourself into rhythm. It's one of them tracks, of course, with how twisty and turny it is. Just getting yourself into a rhythm. Maybe just like SLR Connor, and you're going to find yourself pulling away by a few attempts on the driver behind you. Maybe you might just be trying to again, if you know what I mean. But SLR Connor 2.5 seconds ahead without a penalty. Of course, the difficult bit for Connor now is going to be just keeping that focus, because it's still a long way to go. It could be a safety car, which, as we saw, as we've seen a few times this season, Connor has certainly mugged him off. But yeah, just going a bit further down. Elite Risks ahead of Smoke, not able to get out of the DRS. So Smoke still in touch of the Ferrari driver. But with how things are looking in the... Certainly, with like if the race finish now, we are looking like going with 4 into the final race.
We definitely might be, as I've just seen Sim make his way past Tooman once again, back up into P3 to make it a McLaren double podium. I think there's also another move going on for P12 for VR and Sotikok. He is VR making his way back up into P12 now in the AlphaTauri. We've now got a 4-way battle, I think it is now. I know 3-way between Sem, Tooman and Sim. For P3, I think Liam has just made his way past Ellis once again. He has. Back up into P6. Like I said, this battle's going to go on for quite a while. I said Bennett was down in 15th. Make that 13th because he's just got past Preds and Moley, and he's got VR only just ahead now.
Yeah, Bennett's recovery so far so good. A few places away from the points, but there's enough time in the race, and he's got the pace in him to make up a few more places. I'm really enjoying this Lee and Ellis battle. I think they'll both be loving it also. I mean, so be it they're 4 seconds away from the driver in front of Sem, but they're also almost 4 seconds ahead of the driver behind. So it's a battle known that is comfortably just them two, and they might even be helping each other out. Of course, the DRS is so powerful, and looking at them both, especially Liam, their ERS is fantastic at this stage of the Grand Prix.
It definitely is. Maybe it's going to help them close up to the battle for P3 as it stands between Sim, Tooman and Sem. But I think we're going to go back on board with these because we might eventually see a move because of how powerful the DRS is. Even though Tooman is only 6.5 tenths behind, he is really going to close up to Sim going into the final corner, and he's going to get another dose of DRS to close up once again on the McLaren driver to potentially go for a move going down into turn 1. You can see he's going to get a toe, the DRS from the McLaren. As Owen picks up a penalty for speed in the pit lane, he is going to be the first car to make a scheduled pit stop, and that is not going to help him at all. Tooman is really closing in here on the McLaren, but he isn't close enough to go for a move. Sem also closing up behind. Elite Risk and LP Smoke to go for it. It's a 3-way battle. Smoke is a sitting duck because Alan might get both of them here. Elite Risk, we're going to stay on board with Smoke. He's got a perfect view of this. Elite Risk making his way up into P6 on track, defending off Alan. But Smoke down into P8 now.
Another crucial move by Elite Risks for his title credentials. SLR Liam, I think you just mentioned, of course, going for the pit. That could be the big difference in maybe that battle with Ellis. Certainly being a bit more distanced after Ellis has gone for the pit. because I believe the undercut is quite big here, of course, with all the twists and the turns. And Owen's 5-second penalty. I mean, if he made the undercut to try and catch Connor a bit, it's all gone down the toilet with that 5-second pit lane penalty. So, well, what does SLR Connor do now? I mean, you would think he's going to pit, because unless he's going to fall into traffic, he is going to be still the net leader.
Definitely is. I was currently on a ball with Owen Howell there. He's currently in a little bit of trouble, stuck behind VR at the moment. Is he going to go for a move? He's going to stick right behind him, but he just can't get past him. This is going to lose him even more time to the leaders. We'll check out SLR Connor in a minute, see if he does come into the pit lane. But Owen is just losing more time behind that Alpha Tower. Let's go on board with Connor, see if he comes in. He stays out. So he's going to go long, it looks like, for Connor. Sim comes into the pit lane in the McLaren. Tuman stays out. Sem stays out also. So who else are we going to see? And Ellis coming in. The rest of the medium runners will, of course, stay out. They can go longer, and they will at the end. 2 cars that have gone for the hard. Sotia Clock and AMS Ben. They're nearly a lap down now in this race. I think it might have actually disconnected from the race.
Really?
Connor about to lap him now. I'm not sure. I didn't get a notification.
Yeah, neither did I, but I've noticed he has gone. So I'll just send him right. Ace. Oh, he's on Football Manager.
Oh, so he's gave up.
Yeah,
Ben.
So I don't think he's going back.
Yeah, I think he's had enough. Nearly a lap down, so I don't blame him. But we're going to currently run on board with Smoke. He's gone a little bit wise. I think that might be a bit of a warning there for Smoke. He was closing up to Vapicoop, but it's not going to be enough to go for a move. Prezzo is closing up to Moley, the other Alfa Romeo. Just ahead of him, he's also gone wide there, but he might be able to go around the outside of the hairpin here. He might even get it done before the corner. He has, and the Alfa Romeo is going to try and hold it down the inside, but he isn't going to get a good run out of it. And he does get it. Does. Errol Preds up into P11 now for the Hatch driver.
Good move by Preds, but he's got an arm tied behind his back because his ears aren't looking too great, especially compared to Moley anyway. So he might find himself possibly fall back behind the place. But having said that, Moley's still on the softs and they will be the grading. So depending on how Preds can do with these next few corners, that can be the difference between whether Preds will keep that place or be overtaken. So Sam's overtaken Tuman, but that's because of Tuman pitting.
It is. We'll see how much the undercut is worth when the rest of the drivers come in. You can see currently a 3-way battle here for Smoke, Rapid Coupe, and I believe Alan to P4 on track as Owen now sets the fastest lap on his fresh mediums to get some clear air after getting past VR. As Smoke picks up a penalty for cutting turn 2, I just saw there. So he's not having fun with track limits either, but don't be surprised, we'll see a lot more track limit warnings for the rest of this race. It looks like also Liam is closing up to Moley. He is very, very close to the Alfa Romeo. 11 lap old softs against 1 lap old mediums. You think the mediums would do better, but he's losing quite a lot of time behind the Alfa Romeo because there's just not enough grip left in those tyres. Liam really closing up, and now look at the cars joining behind him for this battle. And it's just going to be a pain, and Ellis has made his way past Adrian. I think Adrian just made a little bit of a mistake there, but Liam's now going to go round the outside of the hairpin. We saw this with another car's last lap. Liam's going to perfectly do it once again on this lap. P11, and he does, up into P11. That's a lot. Liam, good move.
Little brush with all there from Liam, but he won't care. He's got that place, as long as he's got no damage, of course. Interesting situation for Connor. Of course, he's 6.5 seconds in the lead, but he's in a bit of a tricky. He's got a bit of a potential issue, maybe line ahead as he goes into the pits now. I was going to say, I'm just trying to work out the gaps. He might find himself just behind the likes of Allen and Risk 2 on the medium, so won't be pitting anytime soon. Worst case scenario will be that they're also behind Vapid Coot and Smoke, who are gradually being closed down by Owen. It says the yellow flag.
I think there is. I think there might be clock, but I'm currently running on board with this 3-way battle for P4 as it stands between Vapid Coot, LP Smoke and Allen, and it looks like Smoke might be the one to come out on top here. He's going to go around the outside of the Alfa Romeo. He's going to go around the outside of both of them, and he's now up into P3 on track. Is LP Smoke. Fantastic move, fantastic racing from all of these drivers so far.
And crucially, Connor's just come out right behind this battle. So as predicted, it's an awful situation for Connor. Owen and Sim Barracks, they're going to catch up.
He's going to get DRS. Owen on Connor, and this is for the race lead. It is. If you're wondering why Sam is P1 on those 12 lap old softs, he is still yet to pit, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him coming. Connor is going to go for a move on Allen down the inside of the hairpin, and he's now up into P5 on track. And I saw a little tap there from Allen, clipping Connor there Owen now needs to get past these cars as quickly as possible if he wants to threat Connor, but the gap really closing up. As you said, the undercut quite big here. Owen's gone very, very deep and had to cut the corner, so that's not going to help him either.
This is going to be big laps here for SLR Connor. How clean and how calm can he keep his head? He knows he's got Owen right behind. Owen has penalties, yes, but the driver 2 seconds behind is Sim Barracks. If Connor loses too much time, then that could be a threat from the other McLaren driver. These two drivers, well, they won't be the most difficult to overtake, but if they continue to battle in front like we're seeing now, it could make Connor's job very difficult. What can he do here down the straight? Can he get them both?
He could do. One man who's just made a place as well is Owen. Up to P6 now. He's going to be right behind Connor now as Rapid has comes into the pit lane, make a scheduled stop. I don't think Connor's going to be close enough to go for a move on LP Smoke. Championship leader starting on the mediums, yet to pit. We'll be going on the softs later on. We'll see what he can do. Shows some good pace so far is LP Smoke. Owen only 6/10 away from Connor though. This is, like I said, for the race lead. But how much is that 3-lap difference on the tyres going to affect it at the end of the race? 11 laps to go. This race has gone very, very quick so far. Sem yet to pit as well on the softs. So we will see probably. Oh, it's Owen gone wide again. Penalty as well behind him for track limits. It is very hard to follow around here as well, I have found, as Smoke has gone a bit deep, and so has Connor as well. So Owen is now going to be right on the back of this battle, making it a 3-way battle for P3 on track as it stands, but for the net race lead.
I'm sure there's communication if they're in the same party between Sem and Connor right now, because whenever Sem pits, this battle is definitely going to have a bit of an impact on how Sem's rest of the race will go. If they're losing time behind battling each other, then that will help Sem out certainly, but how much time on those soft tyres?
He's probably losing quite a lot, especially to these ones on the mediums behind. But Smoke really is holding up Connor here, and he's not going to be loving it at all. We're going to go on board with Connor, because he is going to go get him round the outside. Not even at the final corner, he's got him on the straight with DRS. And now up into P3 of Sem. Now comes into the pit lane to make his stop, so he'll be on the freshest mediums. Rapid Coot came in for the softs. I think he was the first of the medium runners to come into the pit lane. Owen is now going to make his way past LP Smoke as well, going around the outside. Going into turn 1 is Smoke going to try and hold it down the inside. No, he is not going to fight that at all. It is going to affect his race for the bad if he does fight it. But Owen, only 8/10 away from Connor now. Can he close that gap up? We will see.
Very wise from LP Smoke. It's not his battle. His battle comes later on in the race after he's made that pit stop onto the soft tyres. Sem has made that pit stop, as I think you might mentioned earlier. He's got nice clean air in front of him 5 seconds away, but we know the guy has got pace, so it might take him a few laps to get onto the back of Tooman. He doesn't seem to be under threat either. Ellis is 1.7 seconds behind. So Sem, what have you got?
Currently, he is 10 seconds off the lead, so he can close up. He's got to show some exceptional pace if he wants to do that. The car ahead of him, as you said, Aero Tooman, is currently getting DRS off Sim Barracks 1. In the McLaren, Tooman's gone a bit wide, and he just about keeps it out of the wall there, so he's going to lose a lot of time. This means Sim can now close up to Smoke, and the tyre difference, 11-lap-old difference between the two drivers. This should be a pretty easy move for Sim. We're going to stay on board with him as he goes through the left-right corners now. He's about to get another dose of DRS on the Aston Martin driver. He's going to pull to the right-hand side, and this should be a fairly easy move, and it is. For Sim Barracks 1 on LP Smoke. Up into P4 now is the McLaren driver.
Apart from the laps, it's been a great race. We've seen plenty on show. Certainly overtaking doesn't seem to be too difficult, as I think Adrian has just proven once again, making the move on Preds. However, I think Adrian might find himself back behind Preds and maybe Vapid Coot going down this home stretch. This could be free abreast there as Vapid Coot sets the fastest lap. This could be an interesting one. And it's wise from Vapid Coot, I believe. And there's someone's coming out of the pits, isn't he?
He loses it, but yeah, Elite Risk just coming out ahead of this battle, so that will really help him in his race. But that was very, very close. It's like kind of a Vietnam exit in the pit lane, near enough on the racing line. But Elite Risk just about getting ahead of that battle, and we'll be thankful he did.
Time that section. He is the highest placed soft runner driver now. So this could be interesting. This will be interesting information for the likes of LP Smoke, who is yet to pit. I don't know how well the softs do for 10 laps, or the last 10 laps of a Grand Prix. I would assume better than the start, less fuel load and all of that. But Elite Risks is already closing down that gap on Liam. He's already gained about a second in this lap alone, and we're only about halfway through it.
He is, he's closing and closing. Another man who's closing as well is Tooman on Smoke, but Smoke is also getting DRS off Sim as well in the McLaren. Though I think Tooman's going to be close enough to go for a move.
Hello?
And he isn't. Let's see then, Tooman closing up once again on LP Smoke. Is Smoke going to come in? He isn't. Smoke's going to stay out, he's going to go long. Lap 17 out of 25 in this race. Not long to go now. As Smoke really is closing up on Sim now, and this might really help him in his pit stop strategy. As Smoke, never mind, he is going to get another penalty. Let's go over to the penalty graphic, as Sam has picked up another penalty, a penalty for himself as well. And I think Preds has just lost 2 positions in one corner because he's, oh no, he's coming to the pit lane. Forget that. But penalties so far, as Owen has just picked up another one, so he is now up to 11 seconds worth of penalties, and that's not going to help him at all. Smoke on 6, Tooman, Sem, speaking of Tooman and Smoke, it's Tooman getting his way up into P4 now, past LP Smoke. Smoke up to 6 seconds of penalties, Sem, Liam, Ellis, Bapiku, Alan, Ben on 3, Clock on 11 now, having a tough race down in 17th.
Well, you're gonna, if you're one of the drivers who've got a penalty now, you're really gonna hope that you don't get a late safety car. That will just, that will destroy a few hearts. And well, if you are the likes, or if your name is SLR Bennett, you are going to be praying for a safety car, especially when you've got a title on the line. Elite Risks. Let's have a quick update on him. He's got the gap down to 2 seconds on Ellis now, who has been overtaken by Liam. So that battle is still going on.
I mentioned a few laps ago when Sem came out, he had a 10-second gap to the lead. He's now brought it down to 6, so he is really closing that gap. And the pace Sem is showing, he might be able to close up to this pack very, very soon. You can see so many cars ahead of him. That is the lead pack, and championship leader Smoke comes in to make his pit stop to go onto the soft compound tyres. Let's see how quick he's going to be at the end of this Grand Prix.
It looked a very good stint there by Smoke on the mediums, the last one to pit, but he will be the driver with the best set of tyres now in the last 7-8 laps of this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in SLR Division 1.
It's been a fantastic debut race we've had so far here at Saudi Arabia. It is, and I'll tell you what, I am looking forward to the rest of this weekend. Make sure to join us tomorrow for Division 2 and Division 3, 6 and 9 PM for the both of them. McEwen Division on Sunday, the main event, potential championship decider as well, between Middy and Race Roller at 7 PM, but we may have, once again, a championship decider here. It's looking very unlikely tonight, unfortunately. Well, actually, no, kind of fortunately, because we do want a championship finale at Abu Dhabi, make it even more interesting, more content. And we might get some more content very, very soon, because it looks like Tooman, once again, is going to close up to Sim, 6 tenths back, and he's going to get DRS anytime soon as well. Ellis also closing up to Liam. I don't know if he's going to be close enough to go for a move, though.
They're going to be saving it for the home straight between Ellis and Liam. That seems to be where they've been doing it all night. But having said that, Elite is really caught up. He's only a second behind Elite. He's only a second behind Ellis. So that could turn into a threesome very soon. But I mean, LP Smoke and Bennett both outside the points at the moment. I did not expect that going into this. I did not expect it at all. But there's definitely going to be 2 very happy drivers at the moment. And the spectacle that this could potentially create in Abu Dhabi, it is going to be box office.
And Ellis making his way past Liam up into P6. Liam is going to try and hold it round the outside. He really is fighting this inside line for turn 2. He squeezes the Mercedes out wide. This brings Elite Risk into play now, because he's just got past Ellis and he's going to be right behind the Red Bull driver of Liam. Can he go for it? No. We said this is going to make a spectacle in Abu Dhabi, which is what we'd love to see. Bennett has just made his way up into P12. But yeah, Elite Risk and Connor, as soon as I say that, has got a penalty as Elite Risk. Will be absolutely loving this for their championship, because this really does bring Connor into play if he can win this race.
This is brilliant. Yeah, Elite's just got a penalty now, but so the driver's in front and behind him, and he's probably too far away from Sem if he does get past Liam, especially with the pace Sem's got. So I think P6 could be the maximum here for Elite, unless his safety car does come out. Regardless, even if it is a 6th place finish for Elite, under the circumstances, it is a fantastic performance by the Ferrari driver.
And one man who's going to hope that Liam can defend his place. There's a lot of Ranger in the chat saying Liam Bott, hopefully he can hold on to his place for Ranger, but it doesn't look like it, because Elite Risk is going to hopefully, well, for himself, get a really easy pass here, which is going to help him even more in the championship. He looks like he's going to go down the inside at the final corner. He's not even going to get to the corner. DRS assisting him through into P6 now for Elite Risk, and he is going to finish there in the end. after penalties. And Sim is now closing up to Owen for a move going down to turn 1. The two McLaren's been scrapping all race as well. Sim gets the inside line and is now up into P2 without a penalty as well. So he will finish P2 on track. Well, after penalties, so he's doing very, very well so far. It's Sim Barrett's 1.
Yeah, I've not kept an eye on Sim for the past few laps, but he seems like he's found a lot of pace, and suddenly now Connor's race is he might have to start rolling up the sleeves a bit. There might be a bit of sweat coming out of him now. He's going to be kept honest now with SLR Connor. This is not going to be no longer a straightforward race with as LP Smoke again picks another penalty.
He's not enjoying this race at all. Is LP Smoke, both Aston Martins, week after they won the Constructors' Championship, they are not enjoying this race at Jeddah at all. But the man who is leading at the moment, SLR Connor, is absolutely loving it, because this really brings him into championship contention going into the final round at Abu Dhabi next Friday. Make sure to join us for that as well, because that will be a fantastic race to watch for the season finale around the Yas Marina circuit. And another battle going on again is for P2. I can see Owen out of battery, and so is his teammate as well, Sim Barracks. They are going to close up, and another man who's going to be really looking to gain some places is Tooman. Bennett picks up a penalty for track limits as well. We've got a three-way battle here for P2 between Sim, Owen and Tooman. Are they going to close up Ellis and Liam once again? We're going to go to them actually, because it's like they're going to battle going down to turn 1 as well.
The gap is still closed between the top two. It's 1.5 seconds now. The man who's going to have play a big part in this could be Owen. I mean, if Owen attacks Sim, they're teammates, but Sim is a reserve. If Owen attacks, then that is going to favour Connor massively. Sim is going to be praying that Owen does not attack him, so he can just put full focus into the attack on Connor. Connor is in a better position with Urs, so the gap might just go up, and maybe Connor has just been conserving his tyres like his Urs. The gap has gone again up slightly, but 6-1 is his strong point. The ever-going battle between Ellis and Liam is still in full force.
I said at the start this is going to go on all race. We're on lap 21 and 25, and it is still going on. Another battle going on. It's for LP Smoke and SLR Allen going around the outside of the hairpin. LP Smoke, is he going to hold on? They're still going side by side. Are the two drivers? This is for the last points paying position. Hopefully they don't touch. Oh, and they're still going side by side. Oh. This is fantastic racing between the two. Championship leader against the AlphaTauri driver of SLR Allen. Who's going to get on top here for P10? This may only be for 1 point, but they're racing like it's for a World Championship. And for Smoke, this is for the World Championship, and they're still going side by side. They've been going side by side for near enough half the lap. We're going to stay on board with this, because it looks like Smoke is going to get him again with DRS. And he is right hand side, and he does. Owen has attacked Sim, and he's now up into P2.
Yep, Sim's not going to be
only there.
Yeah, that's certainly not going to be helping Sim out, because now you've got the driver in second who, well, isn't going to finish second because of the penalties, and Connor's already got that gap up to 2 seconds, so he effectively got a 2.3 second lead. But that was a great battle there between Allen and Smoke. It certainly, I didn't expect cars to go side by side round those set of corners without crashing, but they did lose an awful lot of time. But they are far clear ahead on VR in 12.
He did. Allen going down the inside of turn 1 once again on Smoke, making his way back up into P10 after penalties. Either way, Allen will get the positions if he's within 6 seconds of Smoke. Tooman, once again, is joining this battle. He's going to hope these two McLarens keep battling, because he will gain positions if he can. Well, he's going to get Owen, hopefully anyway, on penalties. Owen with 11 seconds, really struggling with track limits, so that's really going to drop him. Sim also having a look on his temporary teammate for this race. Obviously, McLaren reserve driver for Sim. He gets a really good run out of that corner. He's going to pull to the right hand side of his teammate, and Connor's going to be loving this out in front. We'll be on board with Tooman, because he looks like he's got a prime view of this as well. He might be able to get both of them. Aero Tooman, he's going to go down the inside, is he, the McLaren driver? He is. Tooman up into P2, a double overtake going into the final corner.
It's not over yet though, because now Sim and Owen have got the DRS and Tooman hasn't, so all that hard work by Tooman, it's not going to pay off. But I tell you what, one man who is going to be rubbing his hands together, it's going to be, there's contact between the McLaren drivers. Just slightly though, Owen hitting the back.
Oh no! That's not what Owen wanted at all. He was struggling with penalties, and now he's struggling with downforce as well, because he's lost half of his front wing, and he's now down to P6. That promotes Sem back up into P4 after a fantastic recovery drive after being spun out on the first lap, and he will be absolutely loving this.
Right to that, I was going to say that battle for the last podium spot was going to be between Toom and Sem, but as it currently stands, it's just not. Wait, the battle is still going to happen because Owen had the most penalties. So, well, it's going to be the battle between Sem and Toom for the last podium spot. What's happened there, Corey?
Oh, no, Owen with the damaged front wing is really holding up the cars behind through the SS section. Alan has hit him, and I believe has just got front wing damage. He's really slowed down. He's had to drop behind Smoke and Owen. He goes back down the inside of the McLaren, but that now promotes Smoke up into P9 and back in the points paying positions.
I've got a feeling that Alan might have had an illegal overtake. I'm not too sure. I didn't see his see how he got past Owen originally, but there doesn't seem to be any damage on Alan, and he's already back up to speed on the chase on Smoke. As there seems to be a move at the front, Toom, it was a move at the front. I think Sim's just waiting. Sim's going to wait and make that move down the home straight. This is all working in the favour of Connor, who has now got a very healthy lead, almost 4 seconds.
Indeed it does. I saw Sim back off at the final corner because he knows he wanted DRS going down the main straight, and it might work out. He's got the inside line going down to turn 1. He's locked up a little bit. Maybe he's going to go for the old switcheroo. Maybe go around the outside of the next corner if he can get a good enough run, but he can't. He's going to have a look at the inside of Tooman maybe into turn 3. No, too dangerous for Sim, and he knows he doesn't need to get past him just as long as he stays within 3 seconds. The battle for P9 once again between Alan and Smoke is going on, and Alan back up into P9 now.
Well, Sem is right behind this battle now, and let's not forget a driver who's also benefited from what happened to Owen. It's going to be Elite Risks. He's now collecting 10 points at the moment, while Smoke is currently only collecting 1, and Bennett none at all. This championship is, oh my goodness me, it's going to be 4 drivers going into the last race of the season in Division 1.
It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be like F1 2010 in real life all over again. I know it may only be for 1 point, but Elite Risk also picking up the fastest lap point as well. Owen, I think, might steal that after just pitting. And I think Bennett has just thought about that idea as well, because he has just picked for a fresh set of softs, and he does not want to concede any more points than he has to.
Dirty air, it's affecting Sem a bit going around that corner there, going onto the DRS straight. Sem looks like he's going to make a move on Tooman. Obviously, he's going to get it done, but Tooman's going to get the DRS back. Sem's in a good opportunity here to try and maybe get both. This could be crucial here.
It definitely could be. Tooman's got a really good exit as well. DRS to make it even better, and easier move for Tooman. Up into P2 now is AOR Tooman. Sem's also going to be behind, looking at this battle. Is he going to have a lunge down the inside? He isn't. Smoke and Alan once again. No, it's not. Hang on. I think Alan. It's a 3-way battle, actually, for P8 now between Alan, Smoke, and Vapid Coot. Let's go on board with these 3 because this is going to be brilliant. Back again. 3 wide. It's going to be going into turn 1. It looked like only Alan had the DRS there, but the 2 behind are going to go side by side into turn 1. Looks like Vapid Coot has got that, but Smoke's going to go for the switchback now, and he's going to get a really good exit because of it. Using all the batteries he's got left. Final lap we are on now. Oh, and he gets very close to the wall. Does LP Smoke. Alan up into P8, Vapid Coot P9, LP Smoke P10.
Well, we're going into the final few corners now of this Grand Prix. It looks like Connor's got the job done, but it's going to be who's going to get that last podium spot position. There is a gap in between Tooman and Sem. Tooman's gone a bit wide, and Sim has actually just clipped the wall a tiny bit. No damage, but with the amount of Sem's got left, he's definitely going to make one last attack going into the final corner. Sim's even setting himself up. He's not going to go for the move now, is it? Surely not. I don't think he is.
No, he's going to hold behind. This is going to be so close. The DRS train is going to be what settles this race. I think we might have a photo finish. Sim is going to go for a move on Aero Tooman. We're going on board with Connor in a second. Let's go back on board with Sam because I think he's going to get Tooman. And this will be for the last podium position. Connor rounds the final corner now. He is going to cross the line to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Fantastic drive from him.
Look at Sim
but
go!
Sim, it's going to be a photo finish to the line. Oh. Sim, unfortunately, couldn't get him, but he is going to get podium position after getting ahead of Aero Tooman. Sim finishes P2, Aero Tooman P4. Elite Risk, what a drive from him. From the back of the grid, he's going to finish P5, and personally my driver of the day as well. What a drive from him. Ellis P6, Liam 7th, Alan 8th, Vapid Coot 9th, LP Smoke comes across 10th in the end to get 1 point. VR is going to finish P11. Adrian will get P12 in the end. Preds is actually going to be right behind him. Are we going to have another photo finish? We're not, unfortunately. Preds is going to get 13th. Mole will finish 14th for Alfa Romeo. Owen was looking on for a podium. Unfortunately, with track limit penalties he got didn't help him. Had that spin, lost his front wing, will come home. P15 in the end for the McLaren driver. A tough day at the office for him. as he does collect the fastest lap. But what about Bennett though? He will also be on a quick lap. A tough day for him as well. P16 it will be for him. Doesn't get the fastest lap, steal the point, but they did steal the point off Elite Risk Clock. And a tough day at the office for him as well. P17 and Ben lap down. Unfortunately finishes 18th and last of the runners.
Are there any questions? I've just had a quick workout already with the points. Forgive me if I'm wrong. It's definitely going to the final race between 4 drivers. Connor up to 3rd now. The gap between 1st and 4th, 17 points.
Wow, this is going to be a titanic championship battle going into the final round of the season at Abu Dhabi, and make sure to join us next Friday for it, because it is going to be a fantastic season finale. And who was your driver of the day out of that, Matt?
I mean, based from the recovery, I've got to say Sam, if I'm honest. Connor had a fantastic drive from start to finish, being in the lead for the whole race, but it's not the easiest track to overtake, and Sam had a massive mountain to climb after what happened in turn 2, and he still got a podium from it. Yeah, I've got to say Sam for driver of the day, but Connor only just behind, especially where now he's made it a blockbuster finale for a final race of the season.
He has. Let's see what the chat think as well. Can you get your driver of the day votes in the chat as well? How do you want to do the interviews, Matt?
You're the lead, Con, mate. I'll follow your lead.
Go on then. If you want to do, let's do P3, P2 for you, and I'll do Connor.
Sorry, what one do you want me to do? Sorry, I missed that.
You can do Sem and Sim if you'd like.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. I think they're all in.
There they are.
Yep. I'll give you a few seconds just to tick your boxes. And then we will crack on, starting with 3rd place finisher. On the podium once again, especially after that fantastic recovery drive, the Williams driver of SLR Sem. Sem,
Hi.
I mean, congratulations on getting the podium. I mean, possibly after qualifying, you were hoping for a bit more than 3rd place, but after what happened in turn 2, you must be absolutely thrilled with a P3.
Oh, well, I mean, after getting the podium on literally the final corner, I guess I am, but I'm still a little bit unsure on that, like turn 1 and 2. I tried to leave room on the outside, and I felt contact on my rear, so I don't know if that's my fault for going too far wide, or whether it's his fault for leaving his nose in. I mean, obviously, Ben spun from it, so, I mean, apologies to him for that incident. You never like to come together in lap 1, so might be facing a post-race pen for that, which is why I'm a little bit subdued. And then there was a little bit of an incident lap 1 as well. It got really congested in the midfield, and had a bit of contact with Mason as well, which wasn't great. And then, yeah, just the recovery. I managed to get Liam and Elite on one straight, which was quite nice. I knew how powerful the DRS was here, so I just thought, right, if I time this right, I can get past the pair of them and hopefully break DRS. And then I took the risk of taking my tyres quite long because I didn't want to come out in the traffic. But in the end, the mediums didn't drop off that much, so I only caught up on the final lap. And then, yeah, I had quite a lot of battery, and I saw Tuman's light flashing on the straight, and I knew, I just needed to keep my battery going, and I'd get him on the final straight. So it's quite satisfying. And I actually beat Simba to the line. Obviously, I had the penalty, but I did manage to beat Simba to the line as well, which is pretty cool. So P2 on track, which potentially would have been the best I was hoping for anyway, because Connor obviously didn't get a penalty. So in a way, like, I'm not really too upset, because it's recovered to probably where I was going to finish anyway. And yeah, I mean, I didn't have any moments really. I had a couple of light taps of the ball, as you always do at Jeddah, but yeah, it was quite fun to work my way back. It was very fun. Yeah, good to get some consistency.
Yeah, certainly looked very interesting, especially good moves on the track as well, bringing more confidence for you on the wheel. You seem to have cracked that now as we come towards the end of the season. So once again, congratulations on 3rd place, another podium, and another confidence boost as we go into the finale. On to 2nd place now. Sim Barracks won. Congratulations on P2, buddy. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I didn't focus too much on your race as such, but it looked like an interesting battle there with the likes of your teammate Owen Howe and Errol Tooman. I mean, talk us through your race, really, including them battles there. Speechless.
Oh, good comms.
Speechless.
Does have a microphone?
Hello?
Simba, this is Jeff. Can you turn on your microphone?
Good to say. Yeah, I guess we'll move on to Connor. For the meantime, they call you Mystic Mac because you predict these things. Well, could you have predicted that you win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and make it a 4-way battle into the championship finale at Abu Dhabi? What a drive from you!
Thank you, man. Cheers. Yeah, can you hear me?
Talk us through your race, yes.
Yeah.
Talk us through your race.
Yeah, mate, there wasn't really much to it, was there? Kind of turn one, I guess, was the most exciting bit, and I got a good run, just straight off the line. I think Sam got some wheel spin or bogged down or something. Got a really good run off the line, and then just
Mustard's just washed.
he actually done me a massive favour because we talked about this beforehand. If like anyone was in your DRS behind, they've got the double DRSs to catch you. So it's just such a hard life getting someone out the DRS. So I literally had the DRS gap in the first sector of the first lap, and it was just a case of maintaining it and then maintaining it through the whole race. The only real, I guess, action I had was when I pitted, but thankfully the guys who hadn't pitted didn't cause too many problems. I got 2 warnings, so it was just about not getting that penalty as well because I had Simba not too far behind. But yeah, mate, there wasn't really much to it, was there? And then it was a good result.
Well, we called you an outsider chance for the championship coming into this race. Well, we now got 1 race left, and like I said, it's now a 4-way battle for the championship. I think you're around 14-ish points, I think Matt said, off the championship. Do you definitely think you're still up for this world championship?
Nah, I don't think it's realistic. I mean, I think had I not crashed at Australia, it would have been realistic, but I think 15 points is just going to be too much of an ask. If don't get me wrong, if we have another result like today, then we're on. Do you know what I mean? We're there. Because then ultimately, if they both end up where they are and I can get first or second, then we have a chance. But realistically, all they have to do is get midfield, and one of them's got it. Well, I think how many points am I behind Bennett? Because obviously it depends how smoked is, but Bennett.
You're 15. I've just worked it out myself actually. Smoke's on 182. Bennett's on 174. Elite and Connor are both on 167. So the gap's 15 to Smoke and 7 to Bennett. So that is very close.
Yeah, so I guess it more depends on Smoke than anything else. Then Bennett has to get a podium realistically because I think me or Elite will, and then it just depends on what Smoke does. But if I can get another result like today, I mean the results really went my way today, didn't they? So if we can have another one of them, we're laughing, but we'll see what happens, I guess.
Indeed, we will see. So first race around here at Jeddah, here in Summit League Racing. Matt, what did you think about that race? That was unbelievable from me.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting more chaos, especially after what we saw from lap 1. But you know what? I'm still absolutely glad what I saw. We saw fantastic racing all through the pack, even just from, like, for example, Ellis and Liam. They just battled with each other from start to finish. It was absolutely incredible. Sem's recovery drive, Connor's composure. He was kept honest towards the end, but it didn't let him crack. It's exactly what you need going into the final race when you could still win the title, especially as an outsider. It's just, I cannot wait for next week. Get me there already.
I definitely can't either. Make sure to join us next week at 7 p.m, same time on the Friday, 8 p.m, sorry, on Friday for the championship decider. It will be at Abu Dhabi. We've also got more races to come this weekend. Tomorrow at 6 p.m, we've got the Division 2, which the title has been wrapped up in the drivers, but in the constructors, it is between McLaren and Red Bull. Division 3, 9 p.m, another championship decider it could be between LSW Legend and Gregors. And make sure to join us for the main event on Sunday, the McEwen Division, the battle we've all been waiting for, the Verstappen versus Hamilton rivalry of Midzi and Race Roller. And I cannot wait for. Make sure to join us for that at 7 p.m. Thank you to everyone who has joined us tonight, and we will see you tomorrow.